Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. When it comes to steamers for detailing, I've owned the Chief Steamer 125 for quite a few years, I believe over 3 years now, and it's starting to give me problems. It has some issues to work on. So rather than waiting and ordering another steamer, I wanted to go out and find one locally. That's really hard in my area. There's no choices. So Harbor Freight does have the Grant steamer here, the handheld, very small. It's obviously going to have its limitations, but I do have work to do, and I didn't have time to order one, and I didn't have time to get mine fixed. So we have this in our hands. We have a lot of work to do. Let me show you its limitations, what it can do, and what it can't. Let's get to it. I'm about to start a freshening up or really dialing in this Targa Porsche, newly purchased. The customer brought it in to get quite a few things done. I'd like to share some of those with you. We're going to start though with the tinting. This has tint on just about all of the windows. We're going to remove that and return it to its pristine glory, and it's starting to kind of peel off anyways. We want to remove the tint without leaving any of the adhesive behind. It just makes more of a mess and even more of a headache. So I thought I would break out the Grant handheld steamer here. This is something that just came out recently for Harbor Freight. I'm sure it's been covered a billion times by now. It doesn't take long. But I want to show a little bit of how it can help you, different ways, how it operates, and if it's effective. So let's get this started. The shop manager, well, she's napping. She doesn't care. I'm ready. If you're ready, let's get going. All right, so the first thing we want to do is get the cap off of here. Grab the funnel and put it in so we have nice even flow into the unit itself. We're going to take this cup here, and it also has a mark of 200 milliliters, and that is exactly where we want to fill it with distilled RO water. We'll come over to the machine and fill it up to that mark, not a drop more. You want to leave a little bit of room in the canister itself to let the water and steam expand a little bit with the heat. Has a nice little spout here going into the funnel, keeps things nice and tidy for you. Let the funnel drain empty, remove the funnel. Secure the cap nice and tight. We're going to plug it in, and it should be somewhere around 3 to 5 minutes. We should be good to go. All right, let's see how long this takes. So it is 11 after 8. Plug it in. It's going to start out with the indicator light red. That's going to change over to green when it's ready. We'll be back when it's ready. Okay guys, we're good to go. We have the green indicator light on with the power light on, and it is 8:15, so it took about 4 minutes or so, and we're ready to get to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump on these windows over here on the Porsche, and I'm going to work and see how many I can get done until we need to refill that. That will give you an idea. Continuous, if you held the button, about 6 to 8, maybe 9 minutes worth of work you can do. And then you need to refill, plug it in for another 3 to 4, 5 minutes so it heats up again in the tank. Well, let's get to work and see what we can do when it comes to window tinting. We'll use it also. There are other areas on the Porsche here we could use this tool, see what it can do. We're going to start right here. We have the Targa back, we have the sunroof back, we have this little flap up. Everything's tinted. What we want to do is use the steamer to heat up the adhesive that holds the tint to the glass, so we can easily pull away the tint and the adhesive, not leaving the adhesive on the glass to make a mess of. do this from the bottom up. Best to have a microfiber nearby so you can mop up any moisture that drips. Now that we have this heated up, the tint, if you take your time and pull it slowly in the right direction, you'll get the tint off with the adhesive as well. So we'll go a little bit, then we'll steam again. That's coming off nicely. That's exactly what we're looking for. You can tell where the film starts to cool down again. It goes from pulling off really easy to getting grabby again. That's when you stop and you start to heat it up again. So I'm going to stop right there. Bring in the Grant steamer. Continue to heat up to the middle. I'm going to go on the outside of the window or the glass as well. Heat up the glass, heat up the other side of the tint. Take your time, don't be in a rush. So now everything's nice and hot. And look how easy that peels off now. Wipe off any moisture. So I'm going to continue, and I'm going to give you snapshots as I continue, and we'll see how far I get before we need to fill this up, let it sit, and let it heat up again. Once again, heat up both sides of the glass. And try not to pull too fast. Stop and heat up when you have to. And here we go. We have our first piece of film completely removed. This has been on the glass, guys, for a long time. So that's done. Let's continue on. Let's start working on the side here. Let's heat this up and get a corner where we can start to peel away. I will not be using any type of scraping tool, especially on a car like this, to remove this film. Should be able to get a corner here and start pulling. Here we go. Get about that far. You can see where we have it peeled down to. Okay, good friends, I got about this far, halfway down the driver's side window. and it started to peter out on me. So it's time to refill, let it heat up, and then we can get back to work. So there are going to be many breaks. By the way, you do want to unplug and let this cool down. When you unplug it, of course, the power light will go out. But it's very warm, and you want to let this cool down so it feels cool to the touch before you open this back up again and fill it. Opening that up beforehand is a no-no. And empty yet again. So you'll see the limitations that it has, which can be annoying. However, I am getting this work done rather than the car sitting here waiting for something to be shipped. We're moving along. So you get the idea. We do get all of the tint off. 16 Coronas later with lime. We are tint-free on the Porsche. Let's move on to something a little bit different. I can show you other work that it may be able to do. Let's swap out the tips. This does have a few different attachments. Let's move on to a different attachment and get back to work on a different vehicle. Something to add, after a fresh refill, it will spit and sputter a bit for the first maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and then it turns into a nice flow of steam. I wouldn't advise using it on plastic. It can discolor. I don't like to get it really close to a lot of materials. If you have a hammered vehicle, well, what's it going to hurt anyways? If you have half-inch of bubble gum and candy and spilled soda and coffee, you want to try and see if you can get it up any way you can. And it's doing a fine job. Again, you take away the refill, cool down time, and all that jazz. It will assist you to get the job done, which is, well, what more can you ask for? Here you're going to be able to see some limitations. Not really, doesn't really have the power or the punch or the bite to remove scuff marks from shoes. maybe with higher pressure, a unit with higher pressure, different temperature. Also on wheels, has a little bit of problem getting baked on brake dust. Anything lighter than that, you'll be okay. Can also assist with Alcantara. It's actually my favorite way to clean Alcantara, just to fluff it up a bit. Those fibers can get matted and lay over, and nice warm hot steam can help revive and revitalize them. Okay, some final thoughts before we end the video. It was a pain in the ass to use because of its volume and, just refilling and then waiting for it to cool down before it lets you open this back up. There's a safety mechanism, so you can't open this up before temperature reaches a certain point. I am, however, don't take me wrong, I'm grateful that this was available. This is better than their central pneumatic or whatever steamer they have in stock. And besides that, in my area, it's really the only option I had to go pick up locally, and I was very grateful to have it. The limitations, what it can do and what it can't, you saw in the video. It does have limitations for sure, but that's obvious with something this size. If you are in a pinch, or if you do small jobs, or you don't pump out high volume, this may be an option you can look into. Harbor Freight, just about anywhere. A hop, a skip, and a jump from just about any of you out in the viewing audience. This has been Brian from Apex Detail. I hope that helps. Catch you in the next video.